What's going on, guys, and welcome back to an episode of the Monaco series. And today we are playing Marseille in Liga, and I've got a much more positive outlook on this save from last episode, where things were very frustrating. We lost 2-0 to Bordeaux, which is, as I said in the episode, is totally unrealistic, but still got a much more positive because things have gone a little bit better in the very short space of time since the last episode. And transfers, I don't think there's been any more transfers. No, there's not been any more deals happen. Fixture-wise, though. So, last episode, we lost 2-0 to Bordeaux. Then we played Montpellier at home and scored. Abidal scored, and Falcao got the second goal for us to beat them. Toulouse drew 0-0. Now, this was really frustrating because we did deserve to win, and we outplayed them in many respects. So, to lose that game was a little bit frustrating, but we did have Rodriguez and Dodo both injured, which obviously does affect any team. But today, Marseille. Now, Marseille are down in the relegation zone at the moment. That will not last, obviously, but we are currently just, lower mid-table at the moment. And, yeah, PSG obviously running away with it. 4 games played. Well, running away with it. The joint points of Stade Reims and Bordeaux. Bordeaux are not far behind. But, you know, PSG can expect them to really carry on now and kick on and start to kick ass, actually, full stop. But we are running a new formation, and it's slightly different. I have actually been using Kreshy up further up, Kirchi back further deep. I do need to swip Javi Garcia back over just to cover this area here. But yeah, complete wing backs. We're going with just different formation. It's different. It seems to have worked so far. However, different though because I Kreshy up further up. So this is just switched over, sort of thing, if you can imagine that. Switched over in terms of the wingers. We are missing players. Riviere, Toulalan, Carrasco, Matinho, Parasite, and Germain all are international, and Rodriguez is obviously injured. Carvalho can't get in the team today. Can't even get on the bench because Belisushi is there. And Abidal obviously can't get in the team. Strandberg keeps his place. Balanta's back into the team because it's Balanta and he's amazing. And I want to see if I can get him to really become a monster for us. Dodo and Kuchia are the wingers, Ruffier obviously in goal. Javi Garcia is the anchor man. Kondogbia playing ball-winning midfielder. Honda's playing the box-to-box midfielder, which I don't normally use. I don't normally use box-to-box midfielders. I like to play ball-winning midfielders and deep-line playmakers together, but I thought I'd just go with Honda because he likes to be a ball-winning midfielder, so box-to-box midfielder, so I'm going with that. Kreshy on the left, Falcao up front, Kirchi is the inside forward. So that's what we're going to run with today. Hopefully we can get a result. Well, when I say a result, that doesn't necessarily mean a win. I mean, this is Marseille, for crying out loud. We've spent a lot of money, but this is our first year back in Liga. So Marseille, obviously a massive club, and a draw away at the Stade Velodrome is a very respectable result for us to get. I did try and get Diego Costa. He's transfer listed for like 20 million plus. I did try and get him in terms of like throwing some players into a deal, trying to make something happen. But I even asked the director of football to go and get him for me, but it's just not possible at this stage. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, nobody signs him, and I do get like a transfer budget increase in January, which I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I don't know if that's possible or if that's likely or not. I don't know. We'll have to see. But if I did, then potentially Diego Costa could be somebody I look to move for to add to Falcao. Falcao's our only real star striker, so Costa would add to that in many respects. But, the new formation, I'm going to go much more flexible, throwing in instructions as well. If we need to, at half-time, I might start throwing some formations. At the moment, things are going okay. 0-0. We've had more shots and an extra shot on target to them. Possession's not too bad at the moment. But to be honest, in this episode, I actually haven't wrote this down in my notes, but something I was thinking about earlier, because I'm recording this on Thursday, and I've just watched the NBA in London, and I'm a huge NBA fan, like the Brooklyn Nets, and they just happened to be playing in London and played really well, thank God, which has not been the case this season. But that's not the point. That's not what I want to talk about. What I'm talking about is the NBA and the NFL both branch into this country and promote the game, play regular season games here. Now, with the Premier League, for example, in football, we've got a penalty, by the way, just in case anyone's not watching not watching this video and they're just listening to me in the background. Falcao buries it though, 1-0 to Monaco. Falcao is never going to miss the penalty spot, was he really? But anyway, so in the NFL, in American sports, they branch over into this country and promote their game, play overseas games, regular season games that mean something. Now, what in the Premier League we do is we take friendlies to these countries, and yeah, they get massive crowds, for example, in Asia. Yeah, they get decent crowds in America, but playing, what really frustrates me, can I just say on a side topic, is when we, for example, I watched the Chelsea-Man City game at the end of last season. Why the hell did they take it to Yankee Stadium? Why didn't they go to the MetLife Stadium? Okay, it's a massive stadium, probably too big. But why didn't they go to the Red Bull Arena? Why? I know Man City have now got a link with Yankees, and that could have something to do with it, because obviously they co-own the New York City, whatever they're called, MLS team, but that's not the point. They should be taking it to the New York Red Bulls, to the Red Bull Arena, not to a bloody baseball stadium, making the game look absolutely ridiculous with the bloody turf over the baseball pitch. But that's not the point. The point what I want to make is, I mean, it has been mentioned before, they've talked about doing it, taking a regular season Premier League game over to the States or around the world, for example. Now, I see the problem. The problem was fans kicked off at first saying, no, we don't want to do that. We want to, don't take a game away from us. No, I totally agree. Don't take a game away from the home fans. For example, I mean, every season ticket these days, ticket prices are ridiculous. So I'm not just, let me just put that out there. Ticket prices are ridiculously high. And the Bundesliga are on the right track by offering cheaper tickets. But can you imagine saying, for example, to Arsenal fans, you're paying over £1,000 or whatever the horrific prices they're paying is. We're going to take an extra game away from you this year. You can't. You get an extra. You lose a game. Balanta though 2-0. We're beating Marseille 2-0. Balanta with the goal. Can you imagine taking a game away from them? They would kick up a hell of a fuss. So what I'm saying is add one extra game to the league season. That's not too much to ask. I don't even think managers could turn around and say, "Oh no, my players are all injured. They're all tired. You can't do that." Add an extra game, an extra Premier League game to the season to make it a 39-game season. Now, so that means you get 10 games, obviously 20 teams in the Premier League, 10 games every week. So you get 10 games, and on the same weekend, you do it all on the same weekend, so it all fits, and you take them around the world. So you take, say, two to America. You take, I'm just trying to make these substitutions before I carry on because I'll just get distracted otherwise. You take two. I think realistically could potentially happen is you take two to America, one for the East, one for the West. So LA and New York, for example. East and West, or West and East in that case. You take one potentially to Canada because it's a huge market, huge country. So Toronto, for example, they already play football, soccer, whatever there. So that could potentially be a huge market. I say you take two to China potentially because that's a massive market. I think you've got to throw one to India because they're a huge market as well. Just promote the game. So you could throw in South Korea, the UAE, Qatar if you want to, Brazil potentially, although Brazil have football of their own, I know, but they're a huge market and they love their football. So Brazil potentially could be a country you go to. And then there's Africa. So South Africa you could go to, for example, Egypt, or Egypt potentially, maybe not at the moment. We'll forget Egypt for the moment, but I think Egypt's obviously potentially a huge market to go to. Just Africa as a whole continent is a huge market to potentially branch into, particularly with the number of African players in the Premier League. So just take these games, 10 games, in the middle of the season or whenever, I don't know when you do it in the season, but make it all on the same weekend sort of thing. So you take them around the world, these games. Regular season games, points and everything, and just add an extra game. We've conceded a goal late in the game, it shouldn't mean anything now. 2-1, we are looking like we're going to get the win unless things are horrifically wrong now. But I just think it'd be amazing, particularly with financial fair play. I think it would be a huge positive because it would mean huge commercial opportunities and sponsorship and all that sort of stuff. Revenue would be massive for the clubs. Not just immediately, but in the long term, building up those relationships internationally. I just think it'd be huge to do, and also to throw in another side note. Something else we should throw in is in the NFL. I believe they got it in the NFL. I know they've got it in the NBA. Is they got NBA League Pass, and you can pick a team, one team for example, and you can watch every single of their 82 games in the season. Scott, please be offside. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We've just conceded 2 goals just like that. When was that goal scored? When was that goal scored? 2 minutes injury time. This game infuriates me at times. Calm. Don't rage. Right. Anyway, back to what I was talking about before I think about this too much because that's irritated me a lot. Our players are really retarded enough to concede 2 goals. Anyway, let's not talk about that. Let's move on back to this. NBA have League Pass, so I think in the Premier League we could do a League Pass where you can watch you can buy a package and you can watch every single of your team's games, or multiple teams in the NBA. You can pick a couple of teams, like 4 or 5 teams. I don't know how many it is off the top of my head, but you can pick their games and you can watch every single game. home or away. I don't think that'd be amazing to do. To be able to watch that on your TV. You can watch it. You can watch it online. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on TV. That'd be a huge thing to take the game forward in this country. I think Sky. You could do a deal with Sky or BT Sport, for example, to be able to make it work. It'd just be amazing, and also take the games abroad. To grow the Premier League, I think, because it is the best league in the world, and football is the biggest sport in the world. So therefore, let's take this thing to the next level. But anyway, this has been a really frustrating result. Things were going so well, 2-0, and then I opened my big gob saying we're going to potentially concede and things would go horrifically wrong, and they did. But anyway, a draw is not a bad result at Marseille, even if we did have that game won. We'll move on. And next episode will be next month, and we'll come back for the Saint Etienne game at home, back at the Stade Louis, in front of our massive home support of 5,000 or whatever it is. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time.